The three legends of the modern era. Who truly deserves the title of the world's pound-for-pound boxing king? Thank you for stumbling upon this channel. Today we're going to discuss the three pound-for-pound boxers and determine if their placement is truly accurate to the feats that they had this year. Ranked number 3 in the pound-for-pound rankings, Naoya Inoue has shown his strongest claim to the number 1 spot through his activity alone. He will have fought 4 times this year, which is something you do not see in the modern era. 2025, Inoue has already fought Yi Jun Kim, Raymond Cardenas, MJ Ankmadaliev, and David Picasso. That is an insane level of activity compared to the other 2 names on this list. The opponent selection is not mediocre either, as all 4 of his opponents can be considered top contenders in their division, even MJ, who had a lot of Inoue detractors who were saying that he was ducking him. Number 2 in the pound-for-pound rankings, Oleksandr Usyk has already had his rematch with Daniel Dubois, in which he had knocked him out in spectacular fashion. This was basically the number 2 heavyweight in the division. Finally, we have number 1 pound-for-pound Terence Crawford, who had the legendary performance against Canelo this year, and though officially retired, I have decided to include him in the discussion for pound-for-pound king this year. By the end of 2025, Naoya Inoue has already tied Larry Holmes' 1983 record of 4 title defenses in a calendar year. This activity blows both Usyk and Crawford's year out of the door. However, people are still arguing that the level of competition at the lower weight classes prevent him from being considered a number 1 pound-for-pound boxer. Now moving on to Usyk, who only had 1 fight this year, which was a rematch against Daniel Dubois. This fight was needed due to the low blow controversy in their first fight, in which Dubois believed Usyk should not have been given a break for a low blow that he had committed. Usyk had soundly knocked out Dubois, who was at least 20 pounds heavier than him. Usyk's claim to the number 1 spot comes from him essentially lapping the top heavyweight division twice, with 2 wins against AJ, Fury, and Dubois respectively, and being a cruiserweight against someone who is over 20 pounds heavier than him. Lastly, we have Terence Crawford, who had a legendary fight against an all-time great in Canelo Alvarez, in which Crawford essentially went up 2 weight divisions and became a 3-time undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes in the 4-belt era. This is honestly an insane achievement, and you can see why many would have him in the number 1 spot. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far, like or subscribe so that we can enter the algorithm. With all that being said, I fully believe Naoya Inoue deserves to be ranked number 1 pound-for-pound over Usyk and Crawford. As I've said before, activity, especially Inoue's 4-1 in comparison to Usyk and Crawford, and those 4 that he had fought this year were all top 10 contenders in the super bantamweight division. Crawford's performance was legendary, and Usyk's win with the weight discrepancy was admirable, but the activity and consistency has made me put Naoya Inoue as the 2025 pound-for-pound number 1 and current pound-for-pound number 1 in boxing. So even if Inoue doesn't deserve pound-for-pound in your opinion, I believe regardless he should be considered Fighter of the Year. I just want to say that this discussion was mostly for fun. All 3 of these fighters had reasons to be ranked number 1 pound-for-pound for 2025. And with Crawford now retired and Usyk planning to fight Wilder, Inoue is on a clear path to maintain his pound-for-pound number 1 status for the 2026 year if he chooses to continue and fight Nakatani, which I believe he will. Thank you guys for watching, and expect more videos coming up for this 2026 year.